Hey guys, Chris Cooking Nashville here. We're going to talk about some interesting stuff that's on my wife's mind.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah?
I think it's a good point.
Okay.
I think it's important to share knowledge with people, but also motivation. I was kind of reminded of something this morning. So Chris and I, just to kind of give a little backstory on where all this is coming from, we've been ridiculously busy. I mean, honestly, the past couple of months, but especially I would say the past week or so and this weekend.
Yeah.
So basically we filmed a music video. We played a show. I'm trying to get ready to kick off tour. I was in the studio working on stuff. Chris is kind of adjusting to being, full time and doing YouTube. And we've been filming videos and doing live streams. And we've just been running like crazy. And this past weekend, though, on top of the busy schedule, we had some things just kind of happen like out of our control. And so today I was really struggling. We had my brother come and stay at our house over the weekend. So we had company. My future sister-in-law, her basically bachelorette weekend. So I was basically out at a pool all day Saturday and just kind of out and about. Then we had, unfortunately last night, our puppy dog got a little sick to her tummy. And so I literally was up all night for the most part last night with her, just taking her, outside every couple of hours. And she was just unfortunately sick and not feeling well. And luckily she's doing better today. But I woke up this morning and I was just exhausted. Like I feel like I just haven't slept well the whole week.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of running on fumes. And today is a Monday, and Mondays are a very busy day for us. We usually do of course, our Monday morning motivational live stream. We then usually film our health vlog. We also teach guitar lessons, and I have so much work that I need to get done. And so I woke up this morning and I was just super struggling. And Chris was like, do you want to show up and be on the live stream with me? And to be honest, I was really thinking about it. I'm like, I don't really know, and I was reminded of something and I wanted to share it with you. And I thought this might be a really good point for people to hopefully just motivate you though. I was reminded this morning as we were, going through this, and I was trying to figure out, like, with my sleep deprived, exhausted state, if I wanted to show up and do the live stream with my husband, or if I really wanted to go do work today or go do whatever. And it kind of comes back to a story. When I first moved to Nashville, there was a hit songwriter that would always say this. And I didn't at first understand what he meant, but it was this thing he would always say, which was, you have to be present to win. And I'm like, what does that mean? And in the songwriting world, what he was really talking about is basically you have to show up, right? You have to be present to win. He's like, you have to move to Nashville. You have to be writing songs. You have to be out there and just doing it. And some days we don't feel like doing it. Or maybe it's something that's really, really hard to do, but you have to be present to win. You can't expect to basically keep growing. You can't expect to be moving further along in anything if you're not showing up, whether you feel like it or not. I thought about that and how he would always say that phrase, and I clearly understand what that means from a songwriting perspective. But today, for whatever reason, in my sleep-deprived state, I was like, I really think this actually can be applied to your health journey and to keto and to carnivore and all these things. I think today I threw on a ball cap and a little bit of makeup and showed up, and we had a great Monday morning live stream. And I'm so glad that I pushed through it to do it, because I'm like, that really actually motivated me and I needed that encouragement, and it was awesome. And so I think with keto and carnivore, this idea of being present to win, I think sometimes we will wake up and we have days we feel great and we feel really motivated to eat our meat and love our life. And we feel, like we're doing really well in our health journey, and maybe you lost some weight, or, you get these like victories, and those are great because they motivate you and they keep you going. But what happens on those days, because we all get them, right? And it's just a fact of life. Like sometimes things won't go your way. Maybe you're going to hold on to some water or inflammation because you maybe accidentally had some seed oils that you didn't know were in something. Maybe you didn't sleep like me. And so right now your eyes are all puffy and you're, exhausted. And it's like things like that just kind of happen to everybody. And it doesn't matter who you are. Maybe you're kind of newer to carnivore. Maybe you still have cravings, and maybe you woke up this morning and you're just like, you're thinking about maybe having a cheat meal for the wrong reason. And it's like, go eat a steak, go eat meat. You have to show up and do these things in order to remain healthy and to give yourself grace, which we talk about a lot on this channel.
Yeah.
But along with giving yourself grace when you don't feel like doing something, you also have to be present to win. You have to wake up every single day. You have to eat your meat. You have to take care of yourself. You have to do the things. You have to do the hard things sometimes, even when you don't feel like it. And that's essentially what keeps you showing up every day. It's what keeps your body healing. It's what keeps you going.
Right.
And so I think that was just a random thought that I said, I wanted to share with you and hopefully just encourage people to show up, and you have to be present to win.
Yeah.
If you want to see results in your health journey, show yourself grace, but you also have to be here and you have to be present and you have to be present to win.
Yeah.
If you want to lose 100 pounds, that's a big feat. And sure, there will be times where maybe you go off, maybe you don't, I don't know. But it's just this idea of like, you have to consistently keep doing the right things, even when they're hard to do and even when you don't feel like them. And that's kind of how you succeed.
Yeah.
Over time, slowly but surely. That is like the secret to success, is to be present to win. What are your thoughts?
Everything you just said is very inspiring, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I did a live stream sort of just off the cuff last week, and it was all about you. And I think this whole video that is really your idea, and this is kind of your health vlog today, this is a really good example of why my wife is such a wonderful inspiration and source of stability for me, because she's right. I think that at some point in time, as my health had gone downhill because of eating the way that I used to and the things that I used to have, I had totally forgotten about this concept of you do have to show up if you expect anything to happen.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any of that in my life. Like, I didn't have the energy or the focus or anything to show up ever for anything. Now I feel like there have been so many ways that my health has improved and so many things that have changed that now I understand that so much better. And I'm not perfect at it. Nobody is, but I'm much more capable now of showing up, trying to do the things necessary to create the ability to win.
Yeah.
To get what it is I'm trying to get to happen. And I'm much better at that now. I think that it is a very important distinction between making excuses and having grace with ourselves, because none of us are perfect at any of this. And there are times where you don't do as well as you want, or you don't see the results that you want. And I think understanding that that's part of the journey is a really important thing. As long as we also understand that we're all human, we all can have the tendency to want to lean in the direction of making the excuses. And, everything becomes a reason to not have to do the hard work. I'm very guilty of this in the past. And I think when we can honestly look at those situations and say, here's an excuse, here's a time where circumstances made it impossible and I need to have grace. And when we understand the difference between the two, it makes it easy to know when and where we need to show up to do the work, because it makes it easier to do the work when you understand exactly what the work is that needs to be done and when you are susceptible to maybe not showing up to do the work.
Right.
And I totally agree with you. And I think it's very motivating and very inspiring to sit there in a situation with yourself where you can say, this, although it may not be the most fun I've ever had, is the time that I'm doing the work for myself because of this thing that's going to come and this thing that I'm pursuing. And this goes to that pursue it relentlessly every day thing that I've said.
Oh yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I would encourage anyone out there to take that to heart and do exactly what my wife has taught me to do, because Ash is very good at showing up and doing the work even when she's not feeling 100% or when she doesn't feel like doing it. She's a huge inspiration in that way.
Well, you're very sweet. Don't make me cry. I'm really sleep deprived today. But
No. You're very much an inspiration in that way.
Well, and honestly, like, that is something that was told to me, like I said, by a hit songwriter. And I've applied that to music stuff for years. But this morning, when I was like, man, I'd really kind of like to go curl back up and go back to bed because I haven't slept in a week. And I pushed through and I did it. And I immediately realized the benefit and how much I actually really was motivated and enjoyed that live stream. It's like, you have to be present to win. I also think of, a lot of people I see with the diet culture that's in America today.
Yeah.
A lot of them will kind of sort of, I say like dip their toe in the water of say like keto or carnivore. Like they don't fully commit to it and they don't fully go all the way in. They're really like loose with a lot of the things. And then they try it and they go, well, that didn't work. And I understand it's hard. Trust me, been there, done that. But, that's a great example of must be present to win. You can't, you have to give it time and you have to try things. And if you fall off, that's why it's so important to get right back on. Because if you're not showing up every day and if you're not doing the work, right? If you're not trying to better your health and your life by doing the right things, even when you don't feel like doing them, well, then you're not going to win. You're not going to be successful. And that is something that you can apply to so many areas of your life. I, for the first time though, today, thought of that from a keto carnivore perspective. And I thought about, times like I remember when I did carnivore for the first time, we had gone out to eat at a restaurant. We talked about this in another health vlog. And we each had ordered like a pound of chicken at this place that we knew was, great and it was awesome. And they had some pickles on the plate. And they had like 2 little carrots and a piece of celery and stuff. Come on up here, baby. I wanted to have the pickles so bad. And never in my life have I ever felt like eating some veggies would ever be considered a cheat meal. But it's like, I knew that if I ate even one pickle, I just completely undid all the work I did on my body to heal for the past week. So I didn't. Yeah. Right. So even though it's like I really wanted to have just a pickle or just a piece of celery, it's like I didn't, because it's like, no, if I want to do carnivore and if I want to push through and if I want to do this right and if I want to do it, then I have to be present to win. Yeah. I have to do the right thing no matter if I feel like it or not. Right. And again, there have been times now where it's like now I allow myself some veggies and different things, but I literally go right back to doing what I was doing because I understand if I completely fall off the wagon or if I use excuses, well, then it's just, I'm never going to be successful.
It's not that a pickle or a piece of celery ruins your body.
No.
But the concept of if you're going to do carnivore and you're going to say, I'm not going to have that. Having it means you didn't do carnivore. And even if it's just that one little difference, it's not because of what it does to your body necessarily, but it's what it does to the integrity in your mind of whether you actually did it or didn't. And that's a really important element, I think, of that. If you are going to do it, you have to show up.
Right.
And it's hard.
And even things like, like I don't go to the gym or anything, but like I do try to get outside in the sunshine and we try to play and like do things. Yeah. But I've been trying to be really intentional about taking Mel on like a walk every day, because for me, that allows my body to get outside. I get some sunlight, I get moving. When it's raining outside, like it has been like most of this past week, I really don't feel like getting up and taking my dog out for a walk. Yeah. But I have had to discipline myself to get up and do it because, again, it's like if I want those health benefits, I have to be present to win. And I'm not going to like kill myself or put myself, in harm's way if it's like monsooning or whatever, before I say, no, it's not worth it for me to do, I shouldn't go out and walk today. It's like, well, what's really my actual reasoning? And what is the real reason why I'm saying like, no? Is it because having this cheat meal is going to hurt me and it's going to not benefit me in any way, shape, or form? Am I choosing to have this cheat meal knowing that? Like, where's your heart at? What are your intentions? Right. Is it simply just because, well, I've been craving this thing and it sounds really good? Well, then that's getting into like carb addiction, right? Right. That's me wanting something because it tastes good or it sounds good or my body seems to be craving something that it shouldn't want, right? That's a bad reason to get into something. That's not me making a conscious choice on what I'm eating. That's me just getting into temptation and addiction. If I say I want to go on a walk every single day and then I wake up and I'm like, well, I haven't really slept and blah, blah, blah. And it's like this morning, on top of showing up and doing the live stream, I did get up and I did go take the dog out on our daily walk. Yeah. And I felt so much better afterwards. So it's just that thing though where I'm like, if I want these health benefits, I have to be doing them even when I don't feel like them. And if I want to succeed and get to my, my health goals and then continue to grow from there, I have to be present to win. Yeah. So that's all I got. That's the deepest thought that I have for today, my love.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. This is the reason that when we started doing the health vlogs together, I was really happy that Ash was joining in, because for a long time, she was kind of just feeding off of the things that I had thought wise that we were talking about. But as she's done this more and more, she's gotten more involved in sort of where her head is at and the things that she's thinking about. And she's a very intelligent and wonderful lady and has a lot of really good thoughts. And she uses this kind of stuff to keep me on track and in line just as much as I try to inspire her to be that way too. And, we try to make each other better and iron sharpens iron. And we try to keep each other sharp and we try to inspire and encourage each other. And we don't take excuses from each other, but we also give each other grace when we know the other one needs it. And we try to be a team. And this is a really good example of that. So,
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think that was a wonderful discussion, and it was kind of nice to sit here and sip my coffee and
Yeah, you get
really.
a little day off
Yeah,
today.
I get a little bit of a day off
That's
on this
good.
one. So, if you guys haven't yet, go over to her YouTube channel. I'm going to link it down below for you, and you can subscribe there, and you can listen to some incredible music by an amazing country artist. You'll hear me on some guitar and some background vocals on her stuff as well. And you can go to ashtaylor.com as well for all of her shows that she's going to be doing. I'll be there playing lead guitar and we'll be touring around. Come see us if you're in a city where we're coming or if you're nearby and willing to make the drive. We'd love to see you guys at a show. So if you want to get an extra dose of Ash Taylor, you can go find her at those places. I'll link all of that down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. All of my links are down below as always. And we just appreciate you guys being here. We love every single one of you. And if you're watching this video, guess what? You just took a step to showing up to win. So
True.
good job. And we really appreciate you. We love you. We encourage you. And we're so glad that you're here being part of the community. Like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff if you haven't already. And go out and show up to win and do some good things for yourself. We love you guys. This is Chris Cooking Nashville. My amazing wife, Ash Taylor. Guys, eat your meat. Love your life. We'll be back here on the Studios channel for a bunch more health vlogs and inspiring videos.
Was that good?
You're great.
I just threw that out. I need coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're great.
You got a little dog over there?
I do have a little
Hey,
dog
little
over here.
dog. I thought you were going to come sit with us.
That's right. Got up here and realized it wasn't as comfortable as you thought.
Yeah, she's like, man, they need a bigger couch for me.
I know.
I know. What a dog.